Yeah, it's going. Everything is going. But that's what I was about to say. I can pick up desktop audio and everything. I can pick up wherever I want on here. It's a great little system. But it is the first episode of Talk Junction, and I am here with one of my older brothers out of 9, Judge Love.
Damn, there's 9 of us?
Yeah, it's 9 of us. There's 9 of us.
Yeah, it is. What's up, y'all? What's up?
So, pretty much today we're just going to be getting to know my older brother, knowing his hopes, goals, dreams, all that, and getting some personal stories from him, you know, the whole 360. And first thing I want to start off with, first question, is what do people misunderstand about you the most?
Ooh, that's a good one. A good one is, that's a good one. I guess when people think they think I'm the most nicest person in the world. I am nice, but then I'm like always on edge too. I'm always on edge. You probably the same way.
Yeah, I think all the boys. Yeah,
all the boys are always nice. So we're extremely nice to everybody, but people don't realize how much on edge we are because how can I put it? Like, you know, growing up with pops, like we was always expected to be like go above and beyond to some degree. I know you remember the conversation like a man has to work 40 and 60 hours a week to do X, Y, and Z. And then when we were like 13, 14, you're like, you got to play football, get a job. You're not old enough for a job, so you got to play football. So the expectation always set high. So like we're extremely nice people, but we're always on edge too. So we disconnect a lot. And then sometimes it's not by choice. It's just by like just how we grew up. It's like you always are forced to be perfect to some degree, and we're really not. So we're always on edge, and we don't have a safety net. If you mess up, you pretty much dang near done. So the perception people have is like he's an extremely nice guy. I don't know how he could deal with all this, but like that shit's tough. I have probably more breakdowns than what people really think about, than people would know, because I personally just can't show it, so they don't know it. But I'm nice, but it's just like I'm always on edge, and this people don't even realize that. Especially when you always have pressure on your shoulders. There's always some form of pressure that people don't even realize this placed upon our shoulders. In which we'll probably get more into that in more detail later on the podcast. But that's probably it. Like the major misinterpretation is people see me as this extremely nice guy, but I'm probably on edge 90% of the time out the day. And there's really just anxiety. It's anxiety, like pretty much being scared to fail. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I feel that. That's why I think I was so scared to start this up, because I didn't want to fail. I didn't want to throw this on. And then like 2 years go by, I had like 10 listeners and call. Like that was one of the biggest fears I had. But at this point, I really don't care. It is what it is. If I gain people, I gain people. I don't.
You don't.
Yeah.
Like it is what it is. Like I had a conversation with one of my clients today named Sal. Sal does consultant work, and he helped. Well, he's a Verizon sales rep for, you know, businesses, but he does consulting too at the same time. And I told him in regards we had a whole like 30, 45 minute conversation in regards to what you want to do. And I'm like, if you want to do it, go do it. Like, what stopped you? You said, well, my laptop is, I got a laptop if you need a laptop. Like, what stopped you? Like, so every excuse you wanted to give, I had a rebuttal for it. And every time I gave a rebuttal, you're like, you're right, I can do it. And then within an hour, 2 hours, you actually did it. So after that conversation, you did it. Like, that's why I was so quick to reshare and repost everything you did. Because, okay, he listened. He said he's doing it. He's serious. So you didn't procrastinate in regards to it. So even though you were scared to fail based off what you said, you still took that risk. Like, some of the risk was spending the money to get this equipment, to being able to reach out to some people. Some people could turn you down. Like, it's a risk to even ask, could you get on my podcast? Because some people don't have the time, but we really do have the time. I'm probably one of the most busiest people in the world, but I found time. Because I could have easily told you no, and it would have been a risk. Like, you would have been, I'm scared to ask my brother. I know he's always busy, but let me ask anyways.
Yeah.
So, like, be scared to fail, but then sometimes, like, it'll teach you a lesson. Like, that's one of the pressure. Like, I'm always scared to fail, but then I also learn if I do fail. Like, I failed a competition a few months ago. What do? I get back in prep for another show.
And about competition, you just recently had one. How did that go?
It went alright. Like, my last show, like, I did a show, last weekend? It was, like, I'll be honest. So, So a backstory in regards to the show, it'll make sense when I get the backstory. So the Kentucky Open, I entered that show 3 years in a row. The first year I did it, like I was honestly scared to do the show because I was brand new competing. Kind of brand new to competing.
Oh, before we forget.
Oh shit.
My older brother, he's a bodybuilder. For anybody that's wondering, this is what he's talking about right now. Because I forgot, we didn't bring that in. I forgot.
Oh, you didn't bring it up.
Yeah, I didn't bring it up. But yeah.
I wear shorts, trunks. I wear man thongs, kind of. That's the best way to put it. But yeah, to get back to the story. I entered this show 3 times in a row. And when you enter a show, you got to pay for it. And now, back then, it was like $100, and they increased like $10-15 every year. But I pulled out the first one because, I ain't gonna lie, I was scared. I pulled out the show because I was still kind of fresh, wet behind the ears. I said I wasn't gonna be ready because I had an expectation like, if I'm gonna do a show, I want to win the show. So I pulled out. We did another show later on that year. I ended up winning. Year 2 comes, I enter the show again, do the exact same thing. Mm-hmm. And I'm literally ready for the show. I could have won the show if I wanted to. Chose not to do it because in my mind I was beating myself up. I said, I'm not ready. But that second year, the promoter of the show, he seen me buying tickets in line. He like, Judge, what the hell you doing? You into the show. I said, I'm not ready. I'm not about to put this package I have now on stage. Like, I'm just not going to do it. Like, I'm not going to disrespect your show. I'm not going to disrespect myself. I'm just not going to do it. And then he was like, I respect that. I'll give you tickets. So he gave me free tickets. I theoretically paid for the tickets. But he gave me tickets to the show. I watched the show. And I looked at everybody like, damn, I could have won the show. Now, fast forward to this year. I did this show specifically. C said like, yo, I'm doing the show. I like, okay, I'll do it with you, no problem. So I said I'll do the show with her. She pulled out the show, but I said, look, I'm going to do it. She already committed to it. Everybody knows I'm doing it. My coach knows I'm doing it. I'm going to do all the divisions, and I'm going to see what happens. So the show was planned. I was only doing it to support somebody. And I made the promise to that promoter that when I feel that I'm ready, I'll do the show. Now, I was only planning to do a pro qualifier, which is next week. So that was the only thing on my mind, pro qualifier. But since I made this promise to this promoter, I made this promise that I support C, I was like, let me go ahead and do it. Like I said, I'm doing it. And you're just like me. If we say we're going to do something, especially in regards to supporting somebody, I say we're going to get on stage and I'm going to bring my best, we're going to do it. That's just who we are. Yeah. So I got on stage. I did good. I walked away with 3 first place finishes, 1 second place finish, and 1 overall. So it was good, but I wasn't, like, I'll be honest, I wasn't satisfied. It still wasn't the look I wanted. But since I made that promise, I wasn't going to back out. I wasn't going to do the promoter like that 3 years in a row. But we won. But I wasn't satisfied. It's not a pro card. It's not what I wanted. Me and my coach wasn't satisfied. He pretty much said to me backstage, I needed you to get a ring before you end up turning pro. Because this is probably maybe the last year I ever do an amateur show again. And that's pretty much it. Like, we did this show because it's literally a promise, and I was supporting people, and that's all. Okay,
like with everything you said right now, are you happy where you at, or are you still working? Like, where are you at with that right now?
If I'm no, no. I mean, like, if I was to be happy with where I'm at, I can never get better. The best way I can I don't even want to compare myself, but the best way I can view it, if I'm not the best at that particular division or at that particular category, this could be career, where I'm at in life right now. If I'm not the best specifically at what I'm doing, then I can always get better. I'm not satisfied. Like, I can't settle. Like, being satisfied with something, you're settling to some degree. That's literally what it is. I don't want to settle. I want to be the standard. So that package was my best. When I go to, if I win my pro card in 4 days, if I win my pro card, win the overall, I start all the way over. So I can't be satisfied. So you go from being an amateur to a pro, you do a pro debut, you're a rookie. It's like being a rookie in the NFL. You have to literally start from the bottom again. Like, I got respect from pros and amateurs and stuff, but I'm still going to be at the bottom. So if I say, yeah, I'm satisfied with that look I brought, then I'm going to go back to that look. Say, I got to get this look again. I got to always get this look. But I got to get this look all the way over here. So how do you go from here to here? Every day is literally a building block and a new process. All right, so last year I was 205. but I was 205 and I was holding fat here, look this way, look that way. I stressed right here, stressed right there. Money got fucked up here. I was like, all right, I got to reevaluate every fucking thing so I can get to point B. And then from point B to point C to A, B, C, D, however order you want to put it in, how can I get there? So you can't settle. You can't settle. Like, can't be settled and satisfied. Be satisfied. Anybody who say they satisfied in regards to what they did on stage, like, they're gonna be stuck in that moment. That's literally it.
That's gonna be their peak moment right there.
Yep.
And when you peak out, that'd be the worst feeling in the world.
You're done.
Well, I don't know that feeling personally, but when most people peak out, it's over with. They find themselves working at a Ford and just kind of there's nothing wrong with Ford, but they find themselves. Here we go. Like a Louisville Cinderella story. You get a man, he goes work at a GE, Ford, or Amazon, moves to Newburgh, and then I took it up. But
you gotta turn my hat around because my forehead getting a little sweaty.
Yeah, but that's typically the story here in Louisville. Everybody does the same thing. They go work at a big place like UPS, GE, Ford, and then, like I said, they move to Newburgh, like an area like that, and then they're done for the rest of everything else. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. But at the same time, I know a lot of them who wish they were doing more instead of that right now.
You also okay, so let's change your perspective a little bit. So when I was just thinking about bodybuilding, like, I'm basically limiting what that statement to bodybuilding off that.
Okay.
So now let's say we use the same example that you use. So I work for, like, everybody knows I work for Humana.
Yeah.
Like, I start off in military department. I've had security clearance, like literally security clearance, where they did a background check just like a Bible. Then I'm like, well, I want more. Okay, how do you get more? What do you do to get more? So I literally network. So let's just say you got a person. We're going to use my homeboy Rodney, one of my best friends, like my brother. Rodney worked for UPS. He started off at the belt, like normal, like, loading, docking, all this BS. And then he went to logistics. So he was literally doing logistics work like a manager, and he was actual suit. And then he went from that to actually moving on to another company doing logistics. So the change of perspective is, it doesn't matter where you work or what you're doing. Okay, so if you started from point A, how am I going to get to point B? All right, point B, like, okay, do I have to talk to this person? Do I got to talk to this person? I talked to you about it before. Do they have benefits where you can go back to school? Do they have benefits where they give you certification? The people who end up getting stagnant or settled into a certain environment based off of, maybe it's a schedule, maybe it's based off they love the pay they're getting, but the pay is mediocre. In the city of Louisville, if you make $35,000 to $40,000 a year, you can live fine.
Yeah.
Like, you can live great. Like, it's cool. Like, I don't like that though. I made it where I was making $35,000, $40,000 a year, and I had a decent car. Like, I can get cars every 2 years, but it got to a point like, this shit is bogus. It's not cool. I don't have petty money. I won't be able to go out and like today, I went out and just got a camera just because. Like, I won't be able to do stuff like that. So how can I do it within the career field I'm already in? So I moved some pieces, networked around. I ended up going to data. I ended up getting a data analyst spot. I started talking to my manager like, what can I do to get more money? They're like, Judge, every time you do a self-evaluation, remember, this is just like if you're doing an interview. You say yourself, if you did a report for somebody and somebody helped you, don't say somebody helped you. Say you did the whole report yourself. Don't give somebody else credit in regards to something you did. You did this part. It's yours. So at the end of the year, when they do an end-of-year review, they say, Judges, this, and this. All right, we can give him let's say a 15% raise. Perfect. 6 months down the road, they do a mid-year. What have you done in the mid-years? Judge hit all his markers, and he did multiple new procedures, or he renewed procedures for 2023, 2024. All right, so let's give him another bonus. So now every time you get a raise, every time you maneuver within the system, trying to get work for you, finagle some stuff, they're going to keep giving you money because you're playing with stuff. You're making yourself better than what you really are. Like I tell people all the time, you're trying to get a better job. All right. Literally, let's use UPS for example. All right. If I said I work for UPS, I'm going to look up every freaking type of job that makes, let's say, $20,000 more. And I'm going to figure out a way to finagle my resume to make it sound like I can get a position within that description. I taught people how to literally say that they've done data analytics just because they inputted data from maybe a register into Excel. That's literally it. I like, you play with numbers. You know how to use Excel. Get this, well, I don't know how to use Excel. YouTube's a real thing.
YouTube, the internet, just in general.
Yeah, it's a real thing. So, but just to bring it all the way back and bring everything back in, the people who normally settle in a certain position here in Louisville are the ones who don't want to like literally like evolve within the company, because we hear it all the time. Like I got a prime example. A lady named Shaka, girl, I can't say it's a girl, but Shaka literally started from the call center at Humana, and she literally applied for VP positions. She's been assistant VPs, and she's making crazy amount of money for Humana. And I can tell plenty of stories like that. Like my dude J-Rock. J-Rock was the same way. These people started at the call centers, but they kept doing anything and everything to maneuver their way within the company so they can get like six figures within the company. So as long as you're not stagnant, figuring out ways of it's chess, not checkers, dog. That's all it is. It's chess, not checkers. A lot of people here in the city play checkers. They want fast money. That's it. Fast money ain't long money. I'd rather take the long money. Long money just takes time. You gotta be patient.
Oh yeah,
That's all.
Yeah. No, I feel that. I most definitely feel that, and that's exactly why I don't see myself staying. I gotta get out of here. Love it, but I gotta get out of here. Now let's take it back a little bit. Let's get back into your childhood. I know you played football for the Yellow Jackets, or in
no, I played 1 year for Yellow Jackets.
Okay,
and then I was switched to Shawnee.
And then you was about what age? Because I don't even think I was born yet. Or
listen, when it came to I was forced to play football. People don't get that. So this how it was.
All right.
I had asthma. I have skin issues where if it's too hot, if I get in chlorine pools, my skin like breaks out. Like it's a funny eczema to the sun. So it's multicolored. That's why I got a bunch of tattoos, because I want to hide it as a child. But I started with the Yellow Jackets. Got too damn hot. Like it was too hot, so I quit. I was like, I ain't going out there in that heat. No. And then fast forward, get to 7th grade. Fast forward going into 6th grade, going into 7th grade, I started stealing. I'll be real.
Was that during the phase with the Go Valley High?
Yeah.
That phase? Yeah.
Like when I was bad as hell, walking down to the West End all the time. That's when we lived in the West End. And I was literally like just doing reckless stuff. We'd get off the Tart from Farmsley and go to my grandma's house. I'm like, listen, I'm about to get a lick. I'll be honest, I was a bad kid. I'll be completely transparent. I was one of those bad kids, and like you couldn't do nothing. Like you literally couldn't stop me because I get in trouble. But then nobody could like stop me from staying in the house because everybody had to work. So I get off the bus, I go to Kroger's. I was stealing wife beaters, basketball shorts, hair gel, candy, video games. When I say I was a klepto? I was a klepto, dog. That's how bad it was. So to literally change my life, like my mom's like, yo, you got to get the hell out of my house. Like, it's two things. Even Daddy says, like, it's a few things I don't like: a crackhead, a thief, and a liar.
Yeah.
So
he says that a lot.
My mom's like, I don't like a liar. You was lying about stealing. I don't like a thief. You was stealing. You was doing two things. The only thing you're not doing is crack. Like, you're right. I wasn't doing drugs. So she kicked me out. Daddy like, I don't want to beat you. He gave me 2 licks. He says, and live in my house, either play football or you work. You're too young to work. So you'll be playing football with Kendall. That's when Kendall started playing football because he didn't want to play football either.
No, I remember that.
But he was forced to play football. When I moved in, he was forced to play football. And then I sucked. Like, when I say, like, I hated football so much that first full year of playing that I just purposely sucked. They put me at safety, linebacker, D-line, and then it got to a point like, man, he's too big, but just put an X on his helmet. He'll get on the field when he gets on the field. But then it got to a point where I don't know what clicked in me. But I was like, I look at my granddad, I look at my uncle, like they in shape. And then I was just like, I got introduced to bodybuilding at a young age, but I didn't even know it was bodybuilding. I just seen people in shape. And then I started watching sports more. And then this is the stupidest thing to translate in regards to athletic ability. But I was like looking at people's calves. And I'm like, if I got big calves, I can dunk. If I got abs, I can dunk. So from 7th grade to 8th grade, I was on a mission just to get in shape. Like a crazy ass mission. I started doing my own diet, which is weird as hell to think about as a kid. But I literally had pictures where I went from being chubby, a D lineman, to like getting skinny when I started playing 8th grade ball for dogs. So I played high school ball in 8th grade. Like, I started freshman and varsity in 8th grade. But when that switch hit me and I actually started playing basketball, started running track, and I just got more active and I started getting in shape, I got good in football. It's just what it was. So at Dawes, I was D-line. I was D-line and linebacker. I literally started freshman JV and I dressed varsity as an 8th grader. I was leaving middle school and going straight to Dawes to practice with Kendall. And it got to a point where like I got good enough and I got honestly recruited by Ballard. So, because I was supposed to go to either PRP, Western. PRP and Western was the 2 schools I was supposed to go to because it was right around the corner based off the zip code. But Ballard called me. They're like, yo, we want you to play for our freshman team, possibly varsity. No problem. Like, my mom was like, your Uncle Ma lives right around the corner. We can use the zip code. You can go where you just got a bus. So, like, people see me now getting up at 4:30 and all that, going up, like, waking up to do cardio and training, and they're like, you're so disciplined. I was waking up at 4 o'clock in the fucking high school. Like, cause I lived all the way out down at my grandma's house. So I was catching a TARP from her house, 2-hour bus ride, all the way to Ballard every morning. So at that point in my mind, it was like, I got to treat this like I'm going to college. Because Daddy always kept saying, like, to play, you want to go to college, you got to get a scholarship and all this. So it clicked in my mind as a freshman that the only way I can make it to college, I have to do all this to get to there. So freshman year, I did good. Played, first fucking year as a freshman, I got hospitalized. First game of the season.
Dude, was that game?
It was Oldham County.
Okay, what was that game where you got hurt, where we had to come to the hospital?
It was Oldham County.
Was it?
Yeah, it was first game of the season. I ran down the field and I got my sternum bruised. And I was spitting up blood for like a week. And then so I was out. But the dope part about I was still playing. So that year I was running back. People used to think I was Michael Bush's little brother at the time. Because I used to wear 19 in JV. And I played running back. And that was the only time like I was actually a good ass running back. I ain't gonna lie. Because I was like breaking for touchdowns, me and Paul left and right. And I was actually fucking good at running back that year. But after that, like my sophomore year to senior year was linebacker and fullback. But yeah, I had a few accolades always. Got the hit stick, got a scholarship to go to EKU, partial scholarship. EKU was straight. Now, I can tell you some stories about EKU, which we'll get into that. But high school ball is literally, that's what created the discipline for college. Because when I got to college, my college coaches actually played with my high school coaches. So I knew what to actually expect. And not only did they play with each other, they also coached with each other. So my head football coach with Coach Catlett coached with Coach Hood. So everything that EKU did, Ballard did to some degree. Like my running back coach, he actually played for EKU. Our linebacker coach at the time, they played for EKU and K-State. So everybody was familiar with the program. So if you got in trouble, I knew about Breakfast Club before going to EKU. Breakfast Club, you had to be at school at 4 o'clock in the morning and you get in trouble. The coach would be pissed off because they didn't want to be there. But that high school alone, and just like everything I had to deal with to actually graduate, that's what actually instilled that discipline. So when I got to college, I'll be honest, when I got to college, that was the first time ever where I can like kind of back off. Mm-hmm. And then backing off, that's if we even take it back, that's when I'm like, so again, settling all the time, because when I actually settled, it actually backfired on me. Because a lot of stuff happened at EKU where, I ain't gonna lie, I started drinking for the first time at EKU. The first time I ever smoked weed before was at EKU, and I got drug tested a week. Well, actually, it's supposed to be a couple days later. So a lot of people don't know. God rest his soul, my dude Tay-Tay, we was all kicking it. Tay-Tay was about to get drafted. Everybody know Tay-Tay's getting drafted. Tay-Tay was like, hey man, you can smoke it. They don't have a drug test you. They want drug tests. We in season. I'm like, okay, Tay-Tay don't get drug tested. I don't get drug tested. No problem. It's me, Tay-Tay, Matt, my dude Jasper. We all kicking it. And I take a couple hits. Nothing crazy because I'm not a smoker. I don't know how to smoke. No bullshit. The next day, we had running backs meeting. The coach is calling off everybody who has a piss test. He doesn't call my name. Old ass man, coach of old as shit. He doesn't call my name. My dude HB goes behind the desk like, Judge, you on that drug test? I'm like, man, he didn't call my name. I ain't going. He said, Judge, you seriously on it? I'm like, he didn't call my name, so I'm not going. I was on it though. I seen it myself. So I skipped the drug test. He didn't call my name. I didn't hear it. So I skipped the drug test. I get a call to come to Coach Hood's office. He's like, Mr. Love, you missed a drug test. You get red flagged. I'm like, what do you mean I get red flagged? He said, you're suspended for the whole year. Like skipping the drug test is like being like testing positive. Coach Rivera never told me. Like, I didn't know. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I'm panicked at this point because I knew I had a drug test. I just didn't get told. He called Coach Rivera. He's like, my bad. Coach Rivera said, my bad, Coach. I really didn't tell him. Like, I didn't tell him. I didn't know he had to go. And then he said, all right, Judge, you got 2 weeks. You're going to do another drug test. I was like, okay, no problem. 2 weeks passed. I passed my drug test.
Okay.
Because I know I never got suspended.
I was about to say, are you about to have a Blue Mountain State moment here? I'm about to say.
But yeah, I passed my drug test. But the wild part about that is, they used to drug test me every week.
Because you skipped or
not because I skipped. It's because certain athletes I knew didn't smoke. They knew I didn't smoke a joint. But the first time ever I smoked, they wanted to drug test me again. So what they do in the NCAA is they drug test like 10%, 20% of the team, and then they don't drug test the whole team. So the people they know that don't smoke and drink, don't party all the time, they purposely drug test. But some athletes, they won't drug test. That's why you will know all these athletes who smoke weed, but they never get suspended. And if they do get suspended over some drug charges, it's probably because the police called them, something like that. But it's never
something stupid.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they do. NCAA does random drug tests, and they select certain people. And me and my dude Paul used to get picked all the time. But it's at one time I didn't think I was going to get picked. But I had a few incidents where I had to talk to the coach. I know my sophomore year they almost kicked me off the team. From a freshman, no, not even a freshman, a fucking senior lied on us. He said we was bashing the team. Dude literally said me and Paul was bashing the team and saying negative stuff about the team, and then we told our coach no, we wasn't. Like what did we say about the team? Like I'm trying to come back to camp because around this time they adjusted the scholarship rules where they can remove your scholarship every 6 months. If you're not good to have a scholarship, they'll take it away.
So pretty much you can mess around, go home during winter break, and come back without a scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Yeah,
I just go home.
So they changed up some of the rules. So I told Hood no. So Coach Hood pulled everybody who was with that recruit, and everybody said none of that literally happened. The only thing that happened was the actual person who was supposed to be the student was mad because the person who was supposed to take him out for a visit, he pocketed money, and then pretty much they left the dude with us. So in turn, everybody got in trouble.
So it was a senior in high school that
it was a senior in high school. It was a senior visit. So you just want to create you don't want to create a poor representation because you want those students to come. So what they do is they just attach you with a senior or a sophomore or something like that, or a freshman, and then you're supposed to show them on campus. Show them on campus, take them out. But some of the dopest stuff we used to do though. Me and my dude TJ, we played basketball together. Me and TJ used to ride people back home here in Louisville. And the reason we do it, we show people Louisville's right here, UK's right here. You come here, you have so many different options. Like, you're not going to U of L, you're not going to UK, it's SEC, and at that time it was Big East. You're not going to these two schools because they're powerhouses at the time. Come here. If you come here, you get to party with everybody. At this time, U of L had one of the best basketball programs. UK had John Wall. There was the two best programs in the nation at that point. So it just made sense. You take them home, take them to a U of L party. At the end of the fucking party, those kids would be like, I'm signing tomorrow. I'll never forget. I'll never freaking forget, dude. It's a freaking summer. We taking kids to little house parties. These house parties that come, and then we'll tell I won't get nasty on the mic, but we'll take them to a house party, and then all it takes is one of these little skeezers be like, yo, he's gonna be a top recruit for next year. He's gonna be starting. And they're like, oh, for real? And then he'll have a good night, sign the next day.
See,
and it's jacked up but the crazy part of it is that's light. That's light. Like when I went to Mount St. Joe was Blue Mountain State.
See, that's man's funny that you brought that up. I know this ain't about me, but you just brought back. You got to think about CCU.
Yeah.
We were taking kids to Energy. We were taking them to UC, Greek Road, Brick Street. We took one dude. Dude's gonna be on the podcast later on, but Bryce Kelly. We took him to a house party. He came back the following week, and think about it. The following week, he wasn't there for a recruiting trip, or he just came back just because he liked the vibes and he wanted to come back out with us. Then he came back the next year, stayed at CCU all 4 years. Every single one of the recruits I had, they stayed because we had a good time. But I felt bad because it was just for that night. Because as soon as they get over here,
like that.
as soon as they get here in CCU, it's over with.
SCCU, Mount St. Joe was different. Mount St. Joe, when I say Mount St. Joe was a shell shock because D3 they don't drug test at all. I didn't realize I was exposed to all the potheads in the city of Cincinnati, and it was weird to me because because I was an adult student at that time, so I had 3 jobs playing football, and then at that time when I first got there, I was couch surfing. So I was homeless when I got there. That's a totally different story. So when I got there, I'm working my ass off, and I'm like, how y'all got time to do this? Where y'all work? What do y'all do?
Because during Mount St. Joe's, was this the time with the old school or the black Dodge you had when you went up?
The black
Dodge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I had the black Dodge, and that's a good story in regards to never settling too. So just so I'm literally going from high school now to college now to. So before we even transition that, because that's an amazing story too in regards to what happened, because a lot of people don't know. So on the side of my head, people see it swell all the time. Mm-hmm. So I always get people what's going on with head? Between EKU and Mount St. Joe, I was T-boned by that semi, and I was out of football for a year. So I was actually planning to go back to EKU. I was talking to the coaches and everything, and literally finished up summer school, sending my grades in. Did everything they do. I was T-boned by a semi truck, and then my face shattered the windshield. So that's why I got scars. And that's one reason why I grew my dreads. I wanted to hide the scars on my head. So I was out of football for a year. So I went back to training. So as I'm training, getting ready for ball again, get my body right, my back's all jacked up. Get to Mount St. Joe, but the way they got me here was all off lies. That's why I said it's worse than Mount St. Joe's worse than Blue Mountain State. Mm-hmm. So Mount St. Joe tried to recruit me in high school, and I'm like, hell no, why would I come here? I got an offer already from the bigger school, but I'd go on a visit because I like free food. So we went on a visit for free food, keep it real. And so I'm drive up there again because I got my Cadillac at the time, because they asked me to come up there again during the break, and I told them I'm already going back to EKU. I just finished summer school, and it's around May at this time. So my Cadillac just got finished. So I'm driving back, finish summer school, dropping those off, get T-boned, have to sit out of school for a year. I call Hubie again. I'm like, yo, Hubie, I sat out of football for a year. I can't go back to EKU. I ain't got no scholarship on the table. That's completely done. You got any room on the team for me? I can send you my ticket for EKU, whatever I need to see. He was like, nah, I know who you are. Come on up here. No problem. I was cool. But the only thing I need guarantee is I need a place to stay, work, study. I just need to make sure I'm straight. He's like, oh, no problem. Defense coordinator came down, we got a place to live, we got a team house, we have a job on campus for you, we have everything wasn't the fun they said to have on me. Man, I get up there, at this time I got my Dodge Magnum, I pack my Dodge Magnum up, I got everything I need. Clothes, shoes, and this time, when I tell you, I have shit. Anybody who knows me knows, I got a shit ton of shoes, I got a shit ton of clothes, and this time I was big on cologne. I got every bottle of Polo Blue, Polo Black, good shit, $100 bottles. So all this shit's in my car. I get up early, I talk to the coach, so where we stay at? He's like, did your financial aid not cover your room and board? I'm like, I told me I had a house. It doesn't stay at. He's like, do you not have a family? I got a family, but I can't stay with Nikki. And I'm like, it was 2 weeks away. I can't in this camp garden. They're like, well, you can stay in one of the empty dorms for camp. No problem. The dorm's fucking locked, so I can't stay in the dorm. So I'm like, all right, what's the next fucking step? Hey, so it's 2 dudes. You probably know, I know Dad, man. Both of them named Dave. You got Dave Holter and I call White Dave Black Dave.
I've met both of them. Yeah.
But the funny part is one of mixed. He just looks white. He was dark as hell, darker than me. So I was like, White Dave, Black Dave. But I was literally sleeping on that floor until they got a futon. I slept on that futon for about half a year. Then Dave moved off campus with his girl, and then the other day he moved back home to North Kentucky because he was about to transfer. So I was like, damn, what the fuck am I going to do? I'm literally asked out at this point. So my homeboy Josh Frakes, he was like, yo, you can stay at our spot. Cool, no problem. I don't even get bed. I just need a couch, somewhere like that. So I stayed on the floor to the futon. It was good. Now I stayed at futon, and it's winter semester now. So everybody's back home. I'm thinking, they got jobs. All of a sudden, all I fucking know is is fucking crazy ass winter hit just randomly. It's like -10. It's when it was a real bad snowstorm here, and it was worse in Cincinnati.
So this was 2015?
Yeah, no, 2013. It was 2013.
Okay.
So it was a badass winter storm. It killed my batteries, flattened all my tires. Somebody went in the car, broke into my car, stole all my shoes, all my cologne, and half my clothes. Cause like I didn't have a place to stay, and I just like literally just got out the door and I was staying on this couch for like a week. So at that point, like, you know, I got everything fixed, insurance fixed everything. And now I'm talking to my boy Tyler White. So it was like a little crew. It's like me, Draper, Tyler White, and Ronell, and we all kicked with each other. My dude Tyler ended up moving on campus, and my dude Ronell moved back on campus, and his roommate never came back. So he had a suite, it was an adjoining suite. So he was like, stand on the other side, like, you just can't bring your clothes up here. No problem. So I used to go upstairs at night, like, have a backpack with me, I had a bag, and I would shower, and then I'd leave the door cracked on me, and I'd just keep going, coming and going. So that was the first year I was in Fenty, and then that's why I like show like mad respect to these four dudes. At the very end of the semester, nobody knew what I was doing. Like I applied to go back to EKU. I was ready to quit football, just go back to EKU, be a regular student, and graduate because I had like a semester and a half. So EKU said, "Come on, you good to go. You got everything you need," and pretty much all the criminal justice classes I needed was done. So I just need to go back and take a couple classes, like just like the gen ed classes, because the religious classes won't transfer, so I had to take extra classes. Yeah. So they accepted me. My dude looked at me, they're like, "Bro, we don't want you to leave." I'm like, "Nah, I can't fucking stay here. Like, you don't get it. Like, I'm a grown ass man. I'm not about to be surfing on no couch. Like, hell no, it's too fucking much." And then my dude Drake was like, "Well, what if we all just got a spot down the street?" Because he said, "I'd save me like some money. All we gotta do is put the apartment in your name," because at this time I'm like 23. I'm like, all right, no problem. So I put the apartment in my name. Their moms agreed to it. Since I was the oldest, like I didn't need a cosigner, so I had to sign it off. And then their parents just had a cosign, but everything was in my name. So we got a whole spot. I stayed there for an additional 2 years because I was ready to bounce. And then senior year hit, graduated. They actually awarded me another year to play ball. But then I was like, man, y'all dicked me over way too hard. So I was like, man, fuck this shit. I finished my senior year, actually my junior year on field. And then I was like, you know what, I'm about to try out for the CFL. So I tried out for CFL. That didn't pan out. Once that shit was over, a little short ass dude was like, yo, you should try bodybuilding. He was saying that shit for like 6 months. And this when I was training. And then one day out of nowhere, a law firm hit me up. They said, yo, we'll pay you like $100K if you move back home and do all this. It's a Rawlings group. Now, the way that they broke it down, $100K, they say up to $100K. But you just have to bring in, checks. So I'm like, you know what? All I heard is $100K. Peace, y'all. Fuck Cincinnati. Fuck Cincinnati. Like, and when I say I skedaddled so damn quick, like my roommates, I didn't break my lease. Because if I would have break my lease, like it would have fucked them up. Because their parents still co-signing, so they would have to like adjust everything, and plus insurance on my name. So I really didn't want to like take it off because all the renter's insurance, everything, all the bills, all in my name. So I was like, I ain't about to do them like that because it's way too much paperwork trying to transition everything over. I didn't want to fuck them over. So I'm like, I'm gonna keep everything. T White, y'all handle this, and we be good. Man, my ass moved back home. Fast as shit, worked for the Rawlings group for all those 6 months, then went to Humana Military right at that. Then we Humana Military for like 5 years. What's the problem with check-ins and all that? So it's the way Rawlings is. I can't say too much in depth because they did make me sign like an NDA.
Okay.
But basically, like I was a subrogation analyst. So subrogation analyst, all it is, like somebody gets in a wreck, it's my job to know the statute of limitations within every state and certain rules and all that. So. But there's a lot of fucked up shit I didn't like doing. Like, it's something called ACD calls. And without going too in depth about it, it was just one call that almost made me break down and cry on the phone. A woman called in just randomly, and she said she got a letter. I'm like, I don't know what letter you got. What did the letter say? She said you can possibly collect a check in regards to X, Y, and Z over some type of claim. Can't go in detail about the claim. But without saying exactly what happened on the claim, within a nutshell, her son was killed. I can't say how he was killed, but her son got killed within the accident, the specific accident with the specific company. And then the company basically asks, indirectly, do you want to go after somebody? If so, I'll work the case. If you win the case, then they cut the checks. I can't break down the percentages, but it's a certain percentage you will get and a certain percentage the company gets, and we know who gets a bigger percentage without saying it. But that's literally how that goes. And that call literally
broke you.
Yeah, that call broke me. When I say after that call, I bullshit you not. After that call, I undid my tie. I'm like, you know what? Morally, I can't fuck with that. I got in my car, drove from LaGrange to the gym, trained, talked to homeboy Kevin. I'm like, yo, bro, I'm unemployed. I need to go back to training full time. My dude Kev was like, they got five clients. But he threw me 5 clients. Those 5 clients pay for all my bills. And I'm like, cool. Train those 5 clients for a few months. Then I started working at a distillery just to have extra income. But at the same time, I applied for Humana Military. And Humana Military, the reason why it wasn't so instant turnover, when they do a real background check, like you apply for a job, a background check is something brief. Like they just want to make sure you ain't stole nothing and all that shit. When you would do a security clearance background check, I had to have your address, Brichelle's address, Kaylin's address, everybody's address. They asked my address in Cincinnati, asked my address in Louisville. They knew all my student loan information. They're like, the last time you made a payment was this date. I'm like, well, shit, I just graduated 6 months ago. Like, I'm set up an auto pay. It's coming up. So they just want to know everything in regards to your life. And like I say, like a Bible, like your whole entire background is like a Bible. And if you don't get it fixed, then they knock your clearance out. The reason why I deal with so much clearance, I deal with military, active duty service members, and non-active duty. So it takes about 3 to 6 months for you. 3 to 6 months in most cases. Some people it took over a year because everything was backed up. Kentucky was backed up in regards to the clearances. Yeah, so it was a whole ordeal. Cincinnati was an ordeal.
Okay. That Cincinnati's just what I've learned with Cincinnati being there I was there about 5 years.
Yeah, you was there 5 years.
Being in Cincinnati, what I've learned is all the schools are low key the same. They kind of fuck you over in line. Because CCU did the same thing. Cincinnati's just a dirty place, but it's fun. I will say that it's fun, it's a very dirty place.
But it's like Louisville. Cincinnati's like Louisville.
But Louisville's more classier a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Dude, the way I view Cincinnati's like a real city. And Louisville's just as dirty. Like it's a city. It's a city. It's corrupt people everywhere. It's just with those small schools, they have like lower enrollment rates. And it's lower only because they're just smaller schools. Yeah. So like they want to get a lot of admissions. And then their retention sometimes isn't the best because it costs so much. Mm-hmm. That's why, like, when you pay almost $100K for 4 years for a school versus going to UC you may pay like 50, 60. That's a big difference. That's where they dick you over. Mm-hmm. And it's like you'll be in debt for like your whole life fooling with a small school. Look at me. But it should pay off. I'm in the lottery. That's all it is.
Man. So with everything kind of caught up now, what are your next steps with everything in bodybuilding? You know?
Of course I'm getting my pro card. After I get my pro card, I'm gonna take some time off because I've been in prep this whole year and it takes a toll on you. Not just like it's not a physical toll, it's more of a mental toll. And some people don't get it. Like I try to explain as best as possible to some people, and then I try to express how I'm feeling about everything that went on. And it still goes over people's head. Like if people are looking at me, they're like, damn, like, you know, you've been doing everything in prep, all that's been going on, like, how the fuck aren't you crazy? Like, how the fuck you still, like, not stressed out or not, like, depressed? And just to give a backstory of what's going on, January, I had my car stolen. February, Nanny died. I had 2 friends die in March and April. In June, my cousin died. And last week, another cousin died. So it's like, are you numb? Are you numb to it? Prep makes you so numb and people don't get it. Like, my whole entire emotions get shifted sometimes, and in the moment, I don't think about it because I stay so busy in routine. I get up at 4:35, cardio. Right after that training, right after training clients, I go straight to work. So I'm dialed into a computer for 8 hours. Right after that, I train myself, and then after training myself, I come home and I'm like tapped out. I'm too fucking tired to be worried about shit. And people are like, well, you need to cry. I literally told her the other day, you need to cry. I ain't got to cry. Ain't no wrong with me. I'm fine. But after prep, like that's why I can't wait to get after prep, because after prep I process everything. Like I literally process everything. And it sounds so weird to say, like I'll probably grieve after prep, which is so weird to actually say out loud. But it gives me a time to reflect. Now how I reflect is going to be based off of if I want to go talk to somebody, which I probably will. I'll talk to my therapist. I talk to my therapist all through prep. Especially like when me and Dad start talking back, like me and him start talking again. Like me and my therapist, she let me break it down. She's like, "Yeah, you're allowed to grieve. You're allowed to feel this way. You're allowed to feel that way," because it's something that a lot of people don't know. But a lot of people do know, but a lot of people don't say it out loud. If they do say it, it gets demonized. So most black men aren't allowed to grieve. We're not allowed to be too emotional. We're not allowed to speak our emotions too much, because sometimes it be aggressive. It comes out aggressive as we got triggered. So sometimes we will default to being numb. Like you, exactly like me. We go through a shit ton of things. We have a smile on our face when people know something's wrong. Like you was in Cincinnati, shit happened. People telling you, go ask this person, go ask this person. We can't. We can't, because we're so routine. We got to get ourselves out of a certain situation. We got to handle it in the moment. Let me handle it in the moment, and I'll worry about the aftermath.
Yeah.
So that's what happened with prep. Like in prep, I may be dealing with everything up under the fucking sun, and then after prep's over, I deal with the aftermath. But the way I deal with it responsibly. I talk to my therapist. I figure out other hobbies to take. That's one reason why I got a camera. Like that's why I say I want to document stuff out the prep, because it's a lot of people that deal with the same stuff as me. Most men don't go to therapy. Most men don't talk about therapy. So I'm going to document a lot of stuff just so I can express what goes on. Like I may not cry about it. I may not get super emotional, but you feel it. Like you feel it. It's just the way that I express it. Some people don't like the way I express it, because I indirectly would disconnect from people. I'll indirectly disconnect from people not even realizing it, and then I directly cut off my emotions with people, knowing I'm doing it. But then I blame work for doing it. And the crazy part about it is I can say it out loud, but it's so hard to fix, especially when I'm prepped, because you're exactly like me. When we get goal driven, and I blame it on Pops, because we have that A characteristic trait to where when we're extremists, we go balls to the wall for that particular goal or that particular task. So in the moment for that particular task, I'm going to handle that particular task. And then after I knock that task out, then I'll worry about what comes next. I don't know what may happen next, but right now I got to take care of this and this before I get to that. And that's just how we are. And so, like, what's to happen next? I don't know what's going to happen next. I got to handle Wednesday. After Wednesday, I'll plan accordingly. If I turn pro, I may do a pro show. If I don't turn pro, my ass is gonna stop fucking prepping. I'm gonna eat a big ass burger. I'm gonna call my therapist if all I'm down. I'm gonna tell her every fucking thing going on. And I'm like, listen, I just want to put you in the know, and I may have to call you back again soon, because I'm still my emotions aren't heightened right now. I'm still level headed, but I know for a fact they're gonna spike pretty soon. Yeah. Especially when my hormones get back in check. My estrogen isn't spiked right now, so everything's in check. Some people on this podcast won't understand what that means. If you're a male, research spiked estrogen, and that's when men start acting like bitches. That's pretty much it.
Honestly, I know what you're talking about. Oh man, I'm not gonna lie. Most of this stuff I ain't even know, and I'm your younger brother, but
I don't speak on it. Like I don't speak on it's like only a couple people that know stuff. Mm-hmm. Because I'm one of those type of people where I don't like putting like what I deal with on people. Yeah. Like every blue moon, like people see me like post like rest easy this person, rest easy that person, and I'll never express it. Like I won't even look phased. Mm. But even though I don't look phased, it is phasing me. It's just that I just don't I don't express it out to the world, because I don't want my emotion to be on somebody else's shoulders. Like now, if you live with me, it's a little bit different, because if you live with me, you can see it. Yeah. Because I'll probably be so like dialed into my work, like it's almost unhealthy that I'm dialed in that hard. And then some people are like, well, why the hell do you take on 5 more clients if you're dealing with X, Y, and Z? If these 5 clients will get me through the day. Like if I wake up at 4, I don't want to wake up at 4 sitting in the living room thinking about shit. I want to wake up at 4, do cardio, and then know I got to work right after.
Yeah,
and then right after that, you got to keep working.
And I honestly think, like you said, most men do that. Because I mean, like, yesterday, no, a few days ago was Nanny's birthday. I woke up, felt some type of way, and instead of trying to think about it, I just hopped right on here and start editing, start working on videos, and then once the night came, hopped on Fallout and went to bed, just so I didn't have to think about it. So I mean, like I said, you just kind of do what you think is best, whether people agree with it or not. I mean, it is what it is, but
and it's kind of jacked up because I say it is what it is, and everybody, I have a fucking mentality too, and I was literally told you need to give a fuck sometimes,
yeah.
and it's tough to actually start giving a fuck because you're so like ingrained into not caring about certain stuff because you get so busy. I agree. Like, I do have to dial it back, and I know I have to dial it back so I can start caring a little bit more, or maybe start caring a little bit differently. So that way you're not completely cutting yourself off from the world. Like, if I was to give anybody advice, which I actually did the other day because my dude Sam lost his mother, he texted me like 4 o'clock in the morning telling me he lost his mother. And pretty much the same thing I'm saying now, I said to him, like, dude, like, hey, grieve. I said, grieve. You're allowed to cry. Don't be numb. Because I know it's tough. Like, Sam's a family person. So, and also coaching for bodybuilding. So I say, pretty much you're not doing this show. I want you to grieve, spend time with your family. Don't disconnect, because if you stay in prep, you'll disconnect. This isn't the time to disconnect, because if you disconnect now, getting ready for a show in 5 weeks, after the 5 weeks is going to be the worst thing in the world for you. And then he said, thank you, and he agreed, and we kept it pushing from her. So that's my big tidbit, like, don't disconnect from people. Like, because that's one thing I hate about prep. It's so easy to disconnect from people.
True. Shoot, y'all heard it here. Don't disconnect. Man. Wow, that's wild. That's really wild, man. I'm trying to think. So we got about a few minutes left. No, I got a good way of ending shows now on here. Random questions. You pick a number between 1 and 15. And you get a question just on here. You don't know what it is. 7. Are you an introvert or extrovert? That's easy. Maybe.
I'm a combination of both. I feel so. I'm an introvert where I can be to myself, be alone, be completely fine. No problem at all. I can, like I said, I'm used to disconnecting with no problem. Oh, that's the problem. But if anybody was to walk up to me, to talk to me, they can. Because the good thing about me is most people like introverts, like, you won't talk to them, like, they have their headphones on, like, you're gonna go straight past. That's just what it is. Extrovert, they're going to be those loud, not necessarily always loud, but they're going to be those people who grab. You get the energy, you get pulled into the air. If you were to see me in the gym, if anybody walks up to me, I'm the type, like, we always have a smile. We always have a smile. Because that smile don't mean I want to talk all the time. So sometimes I have to force myself to have a frown when I have one video. That's why I don't want to talk. But I can give people best of both worlds. And I can only give people best of both worlds because I have to. I'm forced to. The first thing about personal training is to be personal. I'm a personal trainer. I'm a coach. I have to be very personal. I have to speak to people all the time. So I'm forced to always be outgoing. I'm forced to have some form of communication, conversation. But would I rather be like to myself sometimes? Yeah. But it is also scary because sometimes you don't want to be in your thoughts too much. So even though people say they try to categorize themselves, I say people are a combination of both based off of their specific personality in certain situations. So if you take a person who claims they're an introvert, if you put them in a scenario where they're extremely comfortable, they're going to be an extrovert. Like, that's just what they're going to be.
Yeah.
Like, I know plenty of people say, "Oh, I don't do this." We just had a 5-hour conversation with a lot of skill. Like, you're doing the complete opposite sometimes of what you say that you don't do. And there's just people like that all the time. Keyron's like that. To some degree.
He's starting to get a little better. Because, like I said, I'll be talking to him, and then when I was helping coach, I'll be seeing how he was. And just recently, he got on some of the kids at that school because I think one of them took the last hot dog or something. He's like, You bitch ass niggas. Which one you want?
See, he dropping.
Hey, but that's pretty much how he reacted. But he's starting to grow more into himself.
Yeah, but the point is, like, you just, if you put people in such situations, they're gonna be completely different. Like, Kirk could probably say, like, Reese, you use him. If anybody see Reese, he's probably soft-spoken sometimes, probably doesn't say a lot. But then if you get him around certain people that he's familiar with, completely different.
Yeah.
And then, or if you get my dude Morel the same way. Morel talk to everybody, but then he can be in this like to himself. Like, so I say people have a combination of both. It's just that certain situations, humans are situational. Like, people, we like to literally create a title or like a category to place us upon there. You give me somebody who say they don't talk to nobody, put them in a crowd of people they love. I bet you they're completely different.
Facts.
And then if you get people like Daddy's the loudest person in the world. But one thing I know about him is if he wants to read a room, he's quiet as hell for the first hour to 2 hours. Mm-hmm. So you question if he's an introvert or extrovert. But then once he knows the room, he's a completely different person. And there's some outliers, I can't categorize everybody like that. But it's like these constructs that people try to put on each other. When sometimes it's not it. Like, it's situational. That's why I really don't like. That's like if you put me with a group of people for 6 months for the first month, I may not talk to anybody. After that, they're like, yo, Judge is a fucking clown. Like, it is weird. Come to my house, like, man, Judge don't say nothing. Go to the gym, Judge, you're too loud. You say you don't like talk to people. You talk to him for 30 minutes. I'm sorry, let me shut up. That's life. People don't even think about it. It goes over people's heads. Honestly. But that's my opinion. And some people will probably say, like, that's not true, I'm this and this. And then they have a 10-hour conversation with 1,000,001 people and not realize it.
And they just want to argue about it. And you just like, all right.
Well, it's my opinion. So
yeah.
You can debunk my opinion as much as you want. I don't care. It doesn't faze me.
Oh, man. Well, shit. That's the episode. Thank you, Jay, for being on it, being the first person. Not only that, I want to, what is it? What's the word I'm looking for?
I don't even know. Supposed to have this a script.
I'm trying to think of the word I'm looking for. Oh, no, that's what I want to dedicate this episode to Nanny, Janice Cardell, loved woman. Like I said, happy birthday to her again. And, man.
Can I give some shout outs real quick?
Oh, go ahead. Oh, no, that's what it's. Give shout outs, give plug in whatever you want, say wherever you want. This is all you right now.
Shit. I mic check. Let me plug some people. Shout out to Alpha Cookies down there in Tennessee. The Smith family got me right. Send me a shit ton of cookies. I'm gonna eat all them bitches on Wednesday. Shout out to my guy Kurt CVA. Follow him. What is it? Kurt Visuals on IG. Shout out, baby. He's a M6. If you want to get some good ass gym footage, go to M6. Hire him. Don't be a fucking cheapskate. Pay the hourly rate and drop a tip. Gas is too fucking high. Shout out to the Factory Gym for looking out for me all the time, baby. Y'all know I got y'all all fucking day. Shout out to my sponsor, Elysium. Y'all look out for me all day. Shout out to my homie Bobby down there in Atlanta. He's going to be providing me my board shorts in the next couple of days. Shout out to my homie Kev for looking out, man, because my ass been tired. My coach Steve. Shout out to Steve. Shout out to C. Shout out to every fucking body. And then if you need a wedding venue, go down to Taylorsville, Kentucky, and go to I'm going to butcher it. I will drop it online because I'll butcher the name.
I'll put in descriptions and I'll put in everything else.
But follow me on IG, Judge Love Jr.
All right. This is Talkaholic Junction. Thank you for listening. Y'all have a great night.